Welcome everybody, François Letard, JDR D30. Well, this will be a ramble. Yeah, I've made a similar video in French, but I thought that it could be a good subject to bring in English and share with you guys. So, yeah, well, it's about something I do in my field of work. I talk about it once in a while. You know, I'm doing role-playing games for kids. I work in a library, and I do role-playing game sessions as part of something, you know, an event in the library. I do that on, you know, kind of when they have some days off at school. You know, I offer that, we announce that, and all that. And right now, you know, the session I'm doing right now, by the way, I have three games prepared for 9 to 12-year-old kids, and all the adventures were taken in one-page dungeon. If you don't know one-page dungeon, I will try to put the link below. It's a contest that happens every year. Everyone applying to this contest must create a dungeon that fits into one page with everything you need, you know, descriptions and the plans, and there are very cool stuff in that. And because it fits in one page, I think it fits well in a one shot. And I also run Hero Kids for younger kids, and it works quite well. Okay, but coming back to the older kids, you know, I have a goal in that, you know, it's to share role-playing game, and to share that with something, to share that with a game that they can bring home without spending money. So I try to find French role-playing games that are free. There are some of them, but I wanted that to be simple too, you know, to be, you know, to just go to the core of the role-playing and, you know, getting on with a very rules-light system. I've made some experiments, you know. Some years ago I was doing it with Advanced Fighting Fantasy, but it's not a free game, you know. I began with Advanced Fighting Fantasy, and it was awesome with Advanced Fighting Fantasy, but it wasn't reaching the goal I had in mind. So I've made some research and ended up using a game called Bob le Rollist, which is, if I translate that, it will be Bob the role-playing gamer, okay, something like that. It's you know, it's a game system that fits on one page. Has some humor in it, okay. They have a skill list which are not really the names of the skill, or more like jokes, okay, and all that. It's meant to be a one-shot game, beer and pretzel game. You play with your friend if you have nothing prepared. Some rules are there, experience rule to progress. I was basing my activity with that. It works well, okay, but it's very simple. And at some point, the players were asking more from the game. They were more precise, and they were coming back. That's the thing, you know. When I first began to offer this in the library, I wasn't sure if I would have the same people every time, and it happens that I have lots of occasions, you know, the same kids coming back, so their character progresses. Okay, the game system itself, just to tell you, you know, basically the game system is you roll 1d6, add a modifier, you have to reach 7. That's how Bob le Rollist works, okay, and everything is resolved around that. But now, you know, there are some of the players who have more advanced characters, and just rolling one dice and reaching 7 is, you know, it's nothing. I tried to, you know, I began to use that game system in the fall of 2015, and last week I've made my last game of it. And well, you know, throughout that time, I've made some modifications to the game while trying to keep its, you know, it's how simple it is. Okay, I tried to keep that, and but at the same time, it was a lot of work trying to make the game, well, removing some of the jokes, you know, just trying to make a more serious role-playing game with it. And yeah, and last week, you know, I realized that I wasn't comfortable with the game, you know, how the game was doing. So I decided that I wanted to switch. Some of the choices I had, you know, maybe coming back to Advanced Fighting Fantasy, yeah, but still, it's not an easy game to get in French. You know, the English versions, you know, you can find the PDFs on drive-thru for a very reasonable price, but in French it's not the case. Here we have to, in Quebec, we have to order the book from France, and it's very expensive, very, very expensive. It's out of reach for them. There's another free French role-playing game system that is called Rêve, which has lots of potential. I was very tempted to take it, and because I tried it with this group, I've made a test with it, and they were very pleased with that. It's a system that is easy to grasp. When you roll the dice, what do you need to succeed? You can think in advance. You know, you can measure the what is at stake. But yeah, there are some part of the game that might need some work. You know, there's a realist side to it. You know, if you are very feeble in a skill, you know, so some of the more impossible tasks are, yeah, you can't succeed them. You can't succeed them at all. But I needed that cinematic side to it, and yeah, I had probably I would have had to work the system harder to make it work. It wasn't impossible, but it needed some work. And yeah, well, some aspect of the game I wasn't, you know, I had to think about it. You know, the stuff that your character has, it's not something that you buy with money, but you know, you take some sort of character points. They call this advantages. You know, if you have a cool weapon, you have bought it with an advantage. But what happens when in game you find something or all that? It wasn't clear. Well, easy to handle probably, but it wasn't clear in the rules. Also, the skills, what the character can do in Rêve, Rêve, which means dreams, okay, by the way. The skills is not clear. You know, you name a couple of stuff that you can do, but there's no limits, or you know, they don't say how much of that you can put on your sheet, so it's hard to evaluate. Okay, it's more for kids. I felt that it might be a tricky part. And what happens if your character, you know, you feel that your character is better at something, you just write it up, or okay, yeah, I was tempted, but those thing, you know, was bothering me. That's why I turned to one of my old love, the D6 system. D6 system, yeah, why not use something I'm very at ease with? I know that system by heart. You know, it's easy for me to handle. I use a variant called D6 Legend. Instead of just rolling dices and adding them up, you roll successes. Every time you roll 3 or more on the dice, you know, it's a 1 success. It's faster from my experience. I've tried it a lot. I'm very inspired with how it works in Star Wars role-playing game, the first edition. I must specify the first editions. Maybe many of the stuff were taken from there. Also, yeah, I can handle that system. You know, I'm very comfortable. I'm very, and that system can be free. Yeah, it's more complicated than Rêve or Bob le Rollist. You know, it goes more than one page, okay, of rules. But at the same time, I think I'm looking forward to try it in the next session make the presentation to the kids, saying that's how we'll do it from now. I think they will like all the details that the D6 system can bring by itself, without having without it being rules heavy. It comes with lots of flavor and details by itself, and and it will be more challenging for them. They will more feel the challenge of the adventure. Yeah, that's something in Bob Le Rôle is that was missing. It was how challenging the adventure was. The way the game was built, it was very easy for the characters. Yeah, maybe just giving them less hit points or all that could have been solution, but at the same time it was unbalancing how this game was working. I think it's really meant for one shots, Bob Le Rôle, while D6 system you can make something on the long term more easily. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. In my field of work, I will bring the D6 system on the table, which is a system that they can have for free, and which is a system that has proven itself valuable for many years. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. That's where I'm going, and I will, with the experiment I will make, hopefully I will make some videos explaining to you, how it went in the end. François Letarte, JDR D30, and up to next time. I hope you have as much fun in your life as in your games. Goodbye.